Good evening and welcome to this edition of HPU All Access on Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Anna Harris.
A police standoff in Greensboro. It was scary to be that close. These were the words of neighbors following a police standoff that ended Friday morning. LaPortia Spears said she watched tactical teams approach the house on West English Road on Friday, February 5th. They had their guns drawn and we saw them shooting. You could see the smoke going into the house is what she said. The standoff started following a routine patrol when officers heard shooting in a residence nearby. 34-year-old suspect Jose Drummond Cruz retreated back inside when police were then met with gunfire coming from an AR-15 rifle with drum magazines. Officers then breached the house at 3 a.m., but multiple officers were shot. And at 10:15 Friday morning, Drummond Cruz was killed by Greensboro police. Inside, officers found a female dead, and investigators still haven't released any information following the standoff, but do say that all tactical team members that were shot are expected to recover.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper announced last week that public schools will return to the classrooms as early as February 15th. However, this has left many teachers and administrators at Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools demanding to obtain the vaccine prior to going back in person. The teachers returning this month will not be included in North Carolina's current COVID-19 vaccination group, but the Mecklenburg County Health Department promised they will be given priority once Phase 3 begins, supposedly at the end of March. The health department is currently scouting possible schools and other sites for vaccine clinics, and under the current guidelines, most teachers will not be vaccinated before going back.
Now it's time to head over to Reese Harnett to tell us all about what's going on with our campus. Reese?
Thanks, Thomas. Hey everyone, I'm Reese Harnett here with your campus update. Earlier this week, we saw students getting complimentary professional headshots, as well as learning about professionalism and work ethic from the Career and Professional Development Department. Of course, we all enjoyed our midweek meetup this afternoon as Cherry on Top brought us some delicious fried Oreos. In addition to the food trucks, don't forget the ice rink is still open Monday through Thursday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. So if you're still looking for a date idea with your Valentine, you don't have to look too far. There are even more seminars and events throughout the week, and you can find all of these locations and times of these events through Concierge. Well, that's all I have for you guys this week on Campus Update. We'll be right back after these messages.
High Point University is focused on preparing students for the world as it is going to be. There's a growth mindset in our institutional DNA. So while our campus growth is impressive, the true relevance lies in how HPU creates an innovative learning environment that fosters the entrepreneurial spirit in the minds, in the hearts, and in the souls of our students. This is High Point University. Extraordinary.
Welcome to Freddy's. How are you guys doing?
Meetings.
Lunch meetings all week, all salads.
Bean salads. Quinoa salads.
Heirloom salads.
Frisee salads.
Sometimes a guy needs a Freddy's Original Double, Chicago Dog, and a Turtle Sundae.
Make that 2, please.
3.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna be bad, it better be good. Being bad never tasted this good. Freddy's, the experience that puts a smile on your face and the taste that brings you back.
Welcome to Freddy's. What can we get started for you?
I haven't had a carb in 3 weeks, and if I have one more sip of a kale smoothie, I need a Freddy's Original Double with cheese, fries, and a turtle sundae. Please.
Coming right up.
If you're gonna be bad, it better be good. Being bad never tasted this good.
Bring it on.
Freddy's, the experience that puts a smile on your face and the taste that brings you back.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Welcome back to HPU All Access. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Anna Harris.
Now it's time to head over to All Access Sports with Ethan Smith. How's our Panthers doing, Ethan?
Thank you, Thomas. How's it going, everyone? Much has happened this week in the world of HPU sports, so let's get right into it. HPU men's basketball is picking up the pace now that the season is well underway. The Panthers secured a dominant 72-58 win over the Pirates of Hampton University on Sunday. It's the team's third straight win, tied for the second longest win streak since Tubby Smith took over as head coach back in 2018. Sophomore guard John Michael Wright led the team with 24 points to go with 8 boards. He was one of 11 players with a rebound in the Panthers' win, as the team set a program record with 60 rebounds in a single game, led by fellow sophomore guard Bryant Randleman, who brought down 9 rebounds to go with 7 points. Randleman also led the team with 6 assists. Hampton's best player that night was Davian Warren, who led the Pirates with 21 points, but he was one of only 2 Pirates who scored in double digits. He also led the team with 8 turnovers, a statistic that hurt the Pirates down the stretch, as the Pirates committed 9 of their 14 team turnovers in the second half. The HPU men battled Hampton again on Monday, but did not have a similar result. High Point dropped a close one, 76-71. John Michael Wright again led the team with 20 points, and a freshman guard, Jaden House, provided a huge spark off the bench with 17 points, including 5 three-pointers. Head coach Tubby Smith gave credit where credit was due post-game, saying, quote, "It was a tale of 2 halves tonight. It looks like they got their legs back under them, and the Hamptons kids played extremely well." The Panthers come back home to the Millis Center on Thursday the 11th to take on Charleston Southern in the first of a doubleheader against the Buccaneers. Speaking of the Buccaneers of Charleston Southern, they were swept by the HPU women's team this past Saturday. The Panthers secured a 71-54 win to achieve High Point's 5th conference sweep in head coach Chelsea Banbury's first year. Jensen Edwards, a redshirt sophomore, finished as the team's top scorer with 17 points, followed closely by Big South Player of the Week, Skylar Curran, with 16. Big South Freshman of the Week, Claire Wyatt, led the team with boards with 8, and junior Jordan Edwards finished with the team lead in assists with 6. Shemaya Lay of Charleston Southern led her team with 18 points off the bench, but they too only had 2 players score in double figures. The HPU women have won 12 of their last 13 games and currently sit at 14-5 on the season at the top of the Big South Conference. With a 12-2 conference record, this Panther team looks to achieve the best conference record since the 1995-96 season, who achieved a 16-2 conference record under head coach Dr. Joe Ellenberg. They will look to continue their dominance this coming Friday as they take on Radford on the road. Our men's golf team placed 3rd at the Rains Development Intercollegiate in Florence, South Carolina on Sunday. As a team, HPU scored an 846 through 54 holes. Now, if you're like me and math is not your strongest subject, that translates to 18 under par, which is the lowest carded score in program history. Individually, 3 Panthers were finished ranked in the top 15, with 2 of those finishing in the top 10. Redshirt sophomore Brandon Einstein finished tied at 3rd with 7 under. Freshman Grady Newton finished tied for 7th at 5 under. And redshirt sophomore Drew Weary finished tied for 14th at 2 under. Head coach Brady Greger said after the tournament, quote, "It was a great week for the guys and we got better every day. Even though we didn't finish it off and get the win, we grew a lot as a team this week, and I'm really excited about the direction this team is headed," end quote. The tournament was won by Middle Tennessee, who finished just 1 stroke ahead of Kennesaw State University. The Panthers are off until the 22nd, when they travel back to South Carolina to compete in the Pinnacle Bank Intercollegiate, hosted by Francis Marion University on the Arthur Hills course at Palmetto Hall. In other upcoming events, all on Friday the 12th, men's and women's track will both be competing in the Darius Dixon Memorial Invitational at Liberty University. Women's lacrosse will be competing at Vert, taking on Jacksonville University. And finally, men's and women's cross country will be competing in the HPU Vert Class Invitational down the road in Kernersville, North Carolina at the IVM Redmond Sports Complex. That's all I have this week. Thomas and Anna, back to you.
February 1st marked the first day of Black History Month, an annual observance that celebrates the achievements by African Americans and the role they have played throughout U.S. history. Each week, we will highlight important stories and impactful occasions.
Lauren Rollins has more.
Thanks, Anna. Rosa Parks is a name we all know. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus in 1955. However, that's not who I want to shed light on today. Also in 1955, 9 months before Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, 15-year-old Claudette Colvin refused to give her seat up to a white woman on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. The NAACP didn't want to use Colvin's story because she was 15 and pregnant, which wasn't the best image for the movement at the time. Colvin was one of 5 plaintiffs in the first federal court case filed by civil rights attorney Fred Gray. In 1956, as Browder versus Gale to challenge bus segregation in the city. Colvin left Montgomery for New York City in 1958 because she felt she had difficulty finding and keeping work following her participation in the federal court case that overturned bus segregation. Colvin was not the only woman of the civil rights movement who was left out of the history books. In the South, male ministers made up the overwhelming majority of leaders. This was partially a product of the outward face the NAACP was trying to broadcast, and partially a product of the women fearing losing their jobs, which were often in the public school system. While later asked if she was upset about not receiving recognition for her part in the movement, Colvin said, "I'm not disappointed. Let the people know Rosa Parks was the right person for the boycott, but also let them know that the attorneys took 4 other women to the Supreme Court to challenge the law that led to the end of segregation." On May 20th, 2018, Congressman Joe Crowley honored Colvin for her lifetime commitment to public service with a congressional certificate and an American flag. That's your Black History Month report. Back to you, Thomas and Anna.
Thank you, Lauren. Now it is time to head over to our entertainment specialist, Rihanna Dozier, to give the inside scoop on all things entertainment. Rihanna?
Thanks, Anna. Hi, everyone. I'm Rihanna, and this is All Access Entertainment. I hope you are all having a wonderful week after the chaos of the Super Bowl. Whether you were watching it for the game or the halftime show, I hope you all at least enjoyed some of the best and worst commercials that were shown. Winner for Best Super Bowl Commercial goes to Rocket Mortgage, Certain is Better. The commercial depicts various scenes of what happens when you are feeling unsure about life decisions instead of positive. The commercial earned an 8.5 ranking out of 10. Coming in a close second and also a tie for second was Amazon's commercial for Alexa's Body. A handsome, mysterious man comes into existence as the face of Alexa. Unfortunately, this is not actually happening. We will not all have a handsome stranger with the six-pack abs as our voice of Alexa. However, it is nice to daydream about. Tied with Amazon's was Cheetos' It Wasn't Me commercial with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. I believe everyone in America can relate to this ad, as we all secretly snack on our own favorite foods and then claim that we didn't do it when half the bag is missing by the end of the night. In continuing with Sunday's festivities, singer Miley Cyrus broke down during her Super Bowl tailgate performance of Wrecking Ball. Some say she cried because it reminded her of her ex-husband Liam Hemsworth, and others argue that it was a cry for help for how her life used to be back then and what it has become to now. Lastly, Claire Crawley dyed her hair pink this past week to start fresh after her breakup with fiancé Dale Moss. After Dale broke his silence about their split a few weeks ago, Claire responded by saying that she was crushed by her former fiancé's statement. So I guess a hair change-up is going to fix that? You know, why is it that after a breakup or at the start of a new year, women feel the need to change their hair as if it will fix everything? Let me know your thoughts on this discussion because I would really love to know the reason. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Sheets run and done.
I'll have the langoustine lobster ravioli.
For you, sir?
The original call was for langoustine ravioli. Langoustine is a tiny kind of lobster. Slight shellfish allergy rules that out. Plus, my wife ordered the langoustine. I will have chicken tenders and tater tots.
If you're a ref, you way over-explain things. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico.
Sir, we don't have tater tots.
It's what you do.
I will have nachos.
High Point University is focused on preparing students for the world as it is going to be. There's a growth mindset in our institutional DNA. So while our campus growth is impressive, the true relevance lies in how HPU creates an innovative learning environment that fosters the entrepreneurial spirit in the minds, in the hearts, and in the souls of our students. This is High Point University. Extraordinary.
Welcome to Freddy's. How are you guys doing?
Meetings.
Lunch meetings all week, all salads.
Bean salads,
Quinoa salads.
Heirloom salads.
frisee salads.
Sometimes a guy needs a Freddy's Original Double, Chicago Dog, and a Turtle Sundae.
Make that 2, please.
3.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna be bad, it better be good. Being bad never tasted this good. Freddy's, the experience that puts a smile on your face and the taste that brings you back.
Welcome back to HPU All Access on Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Anna Harris.
We have many unique students here at High Point University with extraordinary stories.
That's right. Meredith Haddock is with us in studio with this week's Student Highlight. Meredith?
Thanks, Anna. We certainly do have some extraordinary peers here on campus. And today I'm joined with Drew Dacey, a sophomore, part of the sorority Alpha Chi Omega. Drew, thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Meredith. It's wonderful to be here as always.
Of course, awesome. So I'm just going to ask you just some questions about your involvement. So talk to us about how you got involved with Alpha Chi Omega. You know, what was the process like, and what is currently your position?
Yes, so I went through formal recruitment my freshman year, as you do here. It's a big thing at High Point, and I immediately fell in love with Alpha Chi Omega. Yeah. Just everything from the sisterhood that I felt there to mainly, and what I do now, was our philanthropy.
Okay.
We support women, survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault, right here in the High Point area. At the Carpenter House, and I am currently the VP, Vice President of Philanthropy and Service, and so I get to man that up, and it's a dream come true being able to do that right now.
Absolutely, yeah, and I'm also a part of the Alpha Chi Omega sorority, so just seeing you take on this role has been just so awesome, and you're just thriving, absolutely. So have you guys had anything, you know, planning on this week with philanthropy, or any events this semester that are involved with that philanthropy, you know, cause? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, of course. Actually, this week was our huge philanthropy week.
Nice.
It's called Healthy Relationships Week, and it's always the week before Valentine's Day, just to kind of get everyone in the headspace that healthy relationships are something that we all can continually work on, that mutual respect and building and changing that narrative in our communities, as well as holding fundraising events. Like tonight we actually had a Freddy's event, Give Back Night, to raise that money and raise that support for those women.
Awesome, yeah. And so what is the philanthropy organization, that Alpha Chi Omega? What do you guys do in the community specifically?
Yeah, because we are working with women who are survivors, we do not see them, we do not meet with them.
Okay.
It's really important that their identities are kept secret, but we do a lot of work, for example, bringing in toiletries. Like right now we're having challenges to raise money and have our girls reach out to their friends into the community to raise money to buy basic toiletries and kids' toys and things like that to get those kids away from their screens.
Gotcha.
In the midst of COVID and everything, masks are super important too right now.
Yeah,
making
absolutely.
sure we get that.
Absolutely. So has anything really changed with having these philanthropy events, or just being in Alpha Chi Omega in general because of COVID? You know, I know that we have chapter every week online, so just talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, planning Philanthropy Week during COVID has been something
very tough.
I've never seen before. I was the assistant before this, and of course I watched Emily Nagel do this as I came in, and so it was such a joy to be able to see that. But as going into this, we can't do much with food, which is typically we do like that big donut sale,
and it's hard to do like in-person activities with close contact.
Exactly, and we're not able to be in Slane. We're in Wannick for all of events. So for example, tomorrow we have a treat sale.
Okay.
So that's all prepackaged, bought off Amazon. I've not touched it. So that's definitely something that's changed. But being able to have some, like some sense of in-person event.
Yeah.
I had a program seminar last night discussing mutual respect with some members of our chapter, and we got in small groups, like groups of 5.
Oh, perfect.
And it was just so nice to be in some kind of community.
Absolutely, yeah, just have something that's in person. So do you guys have anything big planned for the rest of the semester? What's the future looking like for Alpha Chi Omega, especially long term, you know, after COVID is all behind us?
Yes, we'll be back to the normal philanthropy events, and of course, I know all of us, Greek life, non-Greek life, are looking forward to formals again.
Yeah, absolutely,
for
yes,
sure.
of course.
Other than that, we have a retreat sale tomorrow, and then we have our Walk a Mile in Their Shoes, just an ode to the survivors, and be looking out for some more good give back nights. I've been talking with sweet old Bill, so that'd be pretty fun.
Hey, there you go. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us this
Thanks,
week.
Meredith. Thank you for having
so
me.
much going on, so we're just so happy to talk to you. Back to you, Anna.
Thank you, Meredith. Stay tuned next week as we highlight another HPU student. As cases here in North Carolina and around the nation continue to be on the rise, let's head over to Emma Parson for a coronavirus update.
Thanks, Anna. As of today, the global COVID-19 number has crossed the 100 million mark with 2.16 million deaths globally in the United States. There's a total of 24.45 million cases with 425,406 deaths. There has been a lot of progress with the Pfizer vaccine as they continue to distribute the vaccine globally. What's concerning many health officials across the nation are the new strands of COVID-19 that may be more contagious than the first strand. In Britain, where the new strand was first discovered, they are now requiring citizens flying from any of the high-risk countries to quarantine in hotels. On Tuesday, the U.S. government has made it mandatory for air travelers to show proof of the negative COVID-19 test or proof of receiving the vaccine. Looks like we're going to still be wearing masks for a little longer, but hopefully we'll see the light at the end of the tunnel soon. Back to you, Thomas and Anna.
HPU's campus is filled with extraordinary art. Caitlin Graham gives us a sneak peek inside of High Point University's newest art exhibit.
High Point University is currently one of many locations around the world that are hosting an art project called Hostile Terrain 94. This project is sponsored and organized by the Undocumented Migration Project, which is a nonprofit art collective.
This installation is one of a whole number of installations that are being put up all over the world to bring attention to and to visualize the crisis at the southern U.S. border.
This exhibition, which is still in the works, will be composed of 3,200 handwritten tags that represent migrants who have died trying to cross the Sonoran Desert of Arizona.
When it's all finished, I think it's going to be this really kind of beautiful but also extremely heartbreaking visualization of the statistics that many of us are familiar with around migration through the southern U.S. border.
There are many other works on display done by contemporary artists that highlight migration and displacement.
We've got blues and greens and warmer colors as well, kind of coming together in this really beautiful combination. And to see that in an exhibit that discusses immigration and migration, I think is poignant.
Hostile Terrain will be available for viewing until February 19th in the Seacrest Art Gallery. I'm Caitlin Graham with HPU All Access.
Winston-Salem military veteran Mac McQueary says her service dog saved her life. Serving for more than 3 years overseas, McQueary has struggled to adapt back to her normal life once she returned back home. She was then put in contact with Canines for Warriors, a group that partners service dogs with veterans at no additional cost. The organization rescues these dogs from kill shelters and trains them to be service dogs for people that might suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. McQueary states, they rescue the dog so they can rescue the veteran. She emphasizes how important it is to ask for help as a veteran, even though that can be difficult. She hopes that every veteran receives proper assistance and a lovable companion, just like how her dog Mary is for her.
This past week marks 50 years since the late astronaut Alan Shepard played one of the craziest rounds of golf of all time. In 1971, aboard Apollo 14, Commander Shepard brought back nearly 100 pounds of moon rock, but what he left behind was 2 golf balls. Shepard had snuck the head of a Wilson Staff 6-iron aboard the spacecraft and had waited until the end of the mission to shock viewers around the world. Shepard does say that he ran the idea by Mission Control and their response was absolutely no way. Shepard then slipped the head of the club into his socks, and now due to the moon's gravitational effect, the flush 6-iron went just over 200 yards. But some say that with today's technology, they would expect the same shot to land over 2 miles away. The makeshift shaft and head are now displayed in the USGA Museum in New Jersey. Well, that's all we have for you tonight on HPU All Access. Tune in again next week, same time, same place. For HPU All Access, I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Anna Harris. Have a great week, High Point.